Playing your favorite music 24/7. This is TRAXXfm.
Good afternoon, time for IN34. Our guest this afternoon, Mr. Sun-J Perumal, an award-winning Malaysian filmmaker behind Jagat, the 2015 Jagat that was out. A raw coming-of-age film about a boy growing up in the late 1990s that became the first Tamil-language movie to win Best Malaysian Film. To mark its 10th anniversary, Jagat returns to cinemas with two new companion films, Macai and Blues, expanding its story into the Jagat multiverse. Interesting. Also in the studios with us, Fabian Loo, a rising Malaysian actor known for his natural, grounded performances, and has earned multiple award nominations and appears in the film Macai, marking his growing presence in the industry. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Welcome to TRAXXfm. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Thank you for coming, both of you, yeah?
Thanks for having us.
Okay, so we got to go back all the way to the time when that movie came out in 2015, Jagat did, yeah?
Yeah.
And Sanjay, you want to tell us about that?
Oh yeah, Jagat was released in 2015. It's a coming-age crime family drama about the Tamil community set in 1990s.
All right.
Whereby there was no... The period where the post-estate relocations happened in the 1990s because people were staying in the estate back in the 70s and then they have forced to move to the urbanization. So what happened in between? So that's the story about Jagat.
And what happened actually? Tell us.
The story because people been working in the in a system. It's an estate and also there's a system in it. So whereby the community can live together. And
okay.
They dependent on each other and they have like the school, the temple. There's a community things going on. But suddenly there was no proper relocation plan and they were forced out to the urbanization. And a lot of people, they lost the job and family pressures. And they were forced to, they were not prepared for it. So the entire story is about from the perspective of a 12-year-old boy who see the community in that angle.
Right, from a boy growing up, right?
Yes.
And he saw all that. And was that based on a true story or some events of true events?
Yeah, partially because when I was 5 years old, I was staying in a Chinese quarter area. And then only I moved on to a Taman residence when I was 10. So the stories and the characters are based on the people that I've seen in my life.
Right.
Yeah.
So and who was the film? Who was the story? Who was the one who wrote the story?
I did.
You did.
Story, yes.
Right. And when did you start writing movies? How long ago was that? What was your first ever?
I think that was my first film.
That was
Jagat
the first film, right?
Film,
Oh wow! Was that your first attempt also,
First attempt.
Before that you didn't make any short movie, nothing?
Short, yeah. I've done around 7 short films.
Okay.
And also I was doing TV shows.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so interesting. So I just wanna let the somebody who might be interested in following your footsteps, somebody who would like to be the next you, Sanjay. Maybe they can actually learn how to do it. So yeah, they start off by doing short films first. Yeah.
Yes.
When you say a short film, how long is a short film?
Short film could be up to 60 minutes. We can still call it as
60?
Yeah.
Okay.
But mine is, the maximum was around 20. The minimum was 3 minutes probably.
And where would you show these films? Who would buy these movies to watch or anything?
You mean the short films?
The short films.
Short films, last time we do it, we send it to the film festivals or sometimes we just, for fun, we put it on YouTube. Those days when YouTube just gets started. So
right.
We found that's the avenue to reach the people.
I guess you were lucky because you actually had YouTube, yeah?
Yeah.
If you didn't have YouTube, totally nothing, yeah? For the older generations of filmmakers, it was even tougher,
exactly.
yeah?
Yes, exactly.
Right. So now there's an avenue like YouTube and all that, so you can get your movies there as well. Yeah? Oh, okay. So then you started making all these movies, and then you suddenly had this brain... what do you call that? Whatever just came to mind.
Yes.
And to make this movie. What was the name of the movie? Sorry again.
Jagat.
Jagat.
Yes.
Jagat. And what's Jagat mean?
Jagat is the Malay word Jahat, but it's an Indian way of pronouncing it because Indians can't pronounce a G. Sorry, H.
Oh, okay.
So it will become G.
I didn't know that. Okay. So they say Jagat.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Are you gonna say it like that? Is it with the
Jagat? Yeah.
Dia memang Fabian Jagat. Okay, Jagat. All right, and Fabian, tell us about yourself, man. Where from?
I'm born and raised in KL.
KL boy?
Yeah, been doing acting for the
Listen
past.
to your voice, man. Wow. Did you just wake up from sleep or what?
No.
This is your natural voice?
Yes,
Oh, okay. You do voiceovers also?
No.
You should be doing, yeah. Okay, go on.
Yeah, I've been doing this for the past 12 years now with acting. And and then I think I'm gonna hopefully still can be around.
Still carry on, yeah?
Yeah.
What kind of roles do you like?
I do say, wow. I feel like it's not the role per se, but I think it's the world, it's a story world that the director intend to build. I think that what's really interests an actor.
Right.
I hope, because I think it's the world that exists first before the character. Kind of the
Important, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you also got to choose the kind of roles you play, isn't it? Would that be with something that's on your mind as well when you choose a role? Like, for example, Superman.
Yeah.
Once he chose the role to play Superman, after that, everybody who saw him anytime, they expected him to take his shirt off and become Superman.
Yeah.
Even though he makes a comedy or he makes a whatever it is, but every time, they imagine you as Superman. You can't play any other role.
Yeah.
Like some people are comedians. They're funny.
Right.
And then when you see your face in the serious movie, they can't take the movie serious.
Yeah.
I mean, because that can also hamper your like maybe a filmmaker might say, I don't want to take this guy because he's synonymous with movies that are funny.
Yeah.
Or he's synonymous with superhero.
Yeah.
So I guess that choices, like you're saying.
For me, I feel like there's a structure. I feel like every artist trying to break as well, because once a director who does certain genres so well, and then people tend to just categorize this artist with that certain art form, right?
Okay.
But I think like artists in the heart, we are always trying to like just break the barrier and try to just explore the place where we have never been before, and just try to just try out the new things, and then hopefully audience could also follow us with the journey. Otherwise, we'll always be stuck in that limitation of what we can do, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So you're adventurous. You're willing to try any role as long as you like it.
Yeah, as long as the script
It's good.
allows it, and then there are certain money that can be earned.
Of course, yeah. Money talks. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So far, what kind of roles have you played so far?
So far, I've played various. I think for the past 5 years, I think mostly grey area and villainous role. I feel, yeah.
You're the bad guy always.
Not to say always. Just a character who need to do certain things in a very specific situation, and then whether it's good or bad, I think it's up to audience to decide lah.
All right.
Right,
So
yeah.
Sun-J looks at you and says, Jagat. Sun-J, what do you see when you see him? What do you think his potential is for, roles? What kind of roles can he carry? I know he said anything is interesting to him, but for you, a filmmaker, when you look at him and his potential, what do you see?
I think Fabian is a very versatile actor. I mean, I just want to add something that while we were like offering the role to the Macai, he played a character named Aseng, right? So he not only played the character, but for a certain extent, he also written the character with me. So because we were talking about the character, and we were brainstorming about character, he was throwing some idea, and then I was throwing another idea, and then we developed the character together. So he's a very, I think Fabian is a very intelligent actor, and that is why he mentioned about the story world.
Correct.
And only the character comes, because the character comes from the story world, and also vice versa. Sometimes the character can build the story world as well, but oftentimes the story world will create the character. So that is why he really understood that very well.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's got that ability to actually write his own roles also.
Yes.
Right. And that's important for you, yeah, because you get a different perspective, huh?
Of course, yeah.
Nice. Okay. And explain more about the story world when you talk about that. That's interesting.
Okay, as for Macai, right, the entire story we set as a fictional country called Lingapura. Sorry. The story is about a drug pusher who lost the stash, and then he was given 3 days to get back the money. And he'll team up with 2 other friends, get back the money, and so many things will twist and turn will happen along the way. So that's the world. I mean, it's more than the crime world. We wanted to build a world where it's very dark. The nuances are very dark. So that's the world that we build in Macai.
Is there a moral at the end of the story?
No, I don't believe in black or white. So we just, I mean, as a filmmaker, we always raise the questions, and it's up to the audience to grab the question and then try to build or seek for the answers.
Right.
So I don't want to give this is right, this is wrong.
Correct.
We just give the essence, what is life as it is.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I hope it actually shows, like, you know, I think a lot of people sometimes think there's a lot of glamour in crime and all that. But then at the end of the day, they realize that, hey, you know, then you realize who your real friends are, yeah?
Yeah.
And you don't have friends at the end of the day.
I feel like the glamour is only the shield to hide the emptiness inside, you know? You get what I mean?
Explain?
It's like, I mean, I think in normal life, on day-to-day life, I think we do it to a certain extent. We try to shield our inner psyche world. We don't want to open up, you know, because maybe someone is hurting, maybe someone is feeling lonely, maybe someone is feeling, you know, being abused, but there are a lot of reasons. But I think all in all, like, we have this tendency to try to shield up with a certain distance to other people, you know. In the crime world in particular, maybe the glamour that we associate with a lot of times is maybe it's just a shield to shield up something that person is hiding. So I think what Macai is really interesting about is, like, the movie doesn't deal a lot with the glamour part, but really deal with the psyche of the character who exists in that world and what it does to a person. I think that's very interesting take.
Nice, right. And how did you get interested in acting?
Yeah, because like all this observation in life, right? And then we I mean, growing up, I always have questions about things surrounding me, but not many people talk about, you know. And then I'm not sure whether I'm going crazy or is the world going crazy. But then through artwork and through all this collaboration with different filmmakers and all that, and then we'll have conversation about the work, but then it will segue into what humanity really is. Like, what does it mean if you are being put in that circumstance? Do you know, how do you see the world then? You know, what is your lens, you know? And all these things, I think, is a two-way street. On one hand, we can entertain the audience. On the other hand, it also helps us to seek out for answer that we've been needing for the longest of time.
That's interesting, man. That's interesting. Yeah. So when did your first break come for you to actually get into acting? Did you start with acting straight away for movies, or did you do like some dramas on TV or some documentaries or some what?
I started with a lot of like commercials.
Commercials, yeah. What commercial were you famous for?
Like the print ads. Those were the times before social media and all. Okay. So we are still rely heavily on like the print media. Okay. You know.
So you were in newspapers, magazines,
a lot.
and
all that. And then later on, I got the chance to do theater, and then that's where I discovered there are more to acting than just, you know, putting up a smiley face, putting out a reaction face, and
right.
All that. And then from there, I just carry on, you know, keep searching for. I don't know what I'm searching for actually. I think everyone's searching for something, right?
Yeah, correct. So so nice. So you started acting at a young age already, yeah?
Yeah.
Were you convincing in school? Did you ponteng school and you get away with it while you're acting or not?
Yeah, I did that a few
Jagat,
times.
Jagat.
Yeah, I did that a few times. Yeah, I did that a few times.
So you had some talent there, yeah?
Yeah, I guess so.
Comes in handy, doesn't it, huh, Sun-J? Yeah? Okay. What about you, Sun-J? When was your first chance to actually totally like get into the movie and all that? What was that like, It must have been a new territory for you.
Yeah. So I always wanted to become a filmmaker since I was a kid.
Right.
And I studied mass comm in USM. And after that, I was working in a production house for probably like few years.
And what were you doing in the production house?
I was doing a kids program.
Okay.
Particularly, I did for RTM. My first show was called Celik Celik. I did it for RTM.
Okay.
Many years ago. And I did a few women musical documentaries.
Nice.
And then I quit doing TV. I was taking a break, and then I set up my own company. And then I wanted to produce my movie in my own terms. So that's why I opened up my own production house. and I produced, directed, and written Jagat. And after that, Macai and Blues.
Right. How different is it from doing TV and then going into making movies? How different is it, the setup and all that?
Okay, so but because I never done a TV drama, because I always wanted to escape doing TV drama. Because like the grammar between TV drama and film is totally different. Because in TV, it's heavily dependent on dialogues, just like a radio drama. But for film, we are using the visual language to convey the story. So that is why I don't want to do TV drama. But I was doing lifestyle. But one thing that I've learned in the TV industry is that how to work within the limited resources and time, because the deadline is always a crazy deadline for TV.
Okay.
So I learned the deadline. I learned how to handle pressures within the scope of doing for TV productions. Then those are the things that I learned before I jump into making movies.
Right. And movie, like you said, movie is different. It's very visual, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like that movie, who's that guy? Mel Gibson, Apocalypto.
Yeah.
No dialogue. Visual all the way and all that, yeah?
Yeah.
And it tells a story already over there.
Yeah.
And so I get what you're saying over there. So that's a different challenge for you altogether.
Yes.
And you love that, yeah? Okay, so let's get into some questions over here. Zam, the man, is prepared. This Zam, are you ready, Zam? I'm smiling away over there. He's a big Francisca Peter fan, I was played some Fran songs just now. He walks inside singing. I thought he wrote the song for her. Okay. It's been 10 years since Jagat first came out.
Right.
And how does it feel seeing it back in cinemas again?
Yeah, I mean, because I moved on from Jagat after some time. I moved on from Jagat, and I was thinking that it has so many mistakes. As a director, when I see back my old films, I see so many mistakes. But then when I see it again after so many years, I tend to forget the mistakes, and then I just go into the pulse and the original intention that I wanted to make the film. So when I look back, some part of me always saying that it's not perfect. Some part of me say that it's fine. I mean, as a storyteller, it's fine. So these are the mixed feelings that I had after rewatching Jagat again.
Right. Why is it reappearing again?
You mean the re-release?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we want to re-release in conjunction with the 10th year. And then we are going to release Macai and Blues, which is some kind of spiritual sequel to Jagat. So we want to...
Spiritual sequel?
Yes.
Explain that, please.
A spiritual sequel means it's not a direct sequel. It shares probably I would say, some kind of similarity between the characters. For example, in the Jagat, the character's name is Apoy. Sorry. What will happen if the Apoy chosen a darker path? So that story is Macai. And what will happen if he embrace the creativity part and become a director probably? So that's Blues. So all these characters' names are different. The time and the locations are different. But you can see the connection in terms of thematic, what these characters are seeking.
Okay. Is it necessary for someone to actually watch Jagat again to understand? No,
not really.
You don't have to.
Yeah, it's a standalone film.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But if you do watch, then you get an extra, how do you say? It's an
Perspective.
Extra, yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And what did you feel when you watched Jagat the first time?
I felt it was really daring because I feel that I think I shared this with Sun-J a lot of times. I felt like films like Blues, like Macai, like Jagat, it's very hard to come by in an environment where box office is the thing that we as a filmmaker need to survive on, and then with the business intention to come into creativity, and then the creativity tends to be watered down. And then instead of going for the truth, we are going for some things that audience can accept.
Love flicks,
You
and
know.
all that. Yeah.
There's no right or wrong in this
Okay.
decision, but it's just that it felt heartwarming to see someone is pursuing truth,
Right.
even though he's not given incentive to do so from the market. You know.
Correct.
And then this is the harder route to be taken. But then I think spiritually it's more rewarding in a sense as a human. But the reality factor is that then how do we push this to more audience to kind of welcome audience into seeing movie with a different taste, you know? Yeah.
Correct. So yeah, so hats off to to that top part over there. Sun-J, what kind of response have you been getting for the re-release so far?
The a lot of people been watching again. They say that they got a new perspective that they didn't get it back then. They watched 10 years ago.
Oh.
Some of my critic friend, he said that, well, how come I missed this particular portion that explained further about this depth of the character. So he was writing it about. A lot of people say that. Yeah, I mean, while rewatching it, and sadly the the issue is still ongoing right now about the poverty, about the gang culture, the crime. After 10 years, it's still happening.
Right.
These are things that people been.
And people are just realizing this now about that movie that was then. So you were like ahead of your time, yeah, at that time?
I wouldn't say ahead of time. Probably it's a narrative that people forgotten to mention it for so long.
Right.
So I just entered and then, yeah, I told the story. That's all. Yeah, probably.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Looking back, what was the toughest part in producing Jagat back then?
I think the biggest thing is when the people around you doesn't understand your vision. Lack of resources is secondary.
Right.
When there are people around you, they don't understand the vision, why you're doing so.
Like kind of like what Fabian was saying earlier, yeah. When you know, like somebody's you're daring enough, and he's happy that you were actually. So you needed him earlier when Jagat was actually. Yeah. Where were you, man?
Probably doing TBC smiling for camera, you know.
Okay, go on. And then?
Yeah, I think when you don't have the similar-minded people, because, sorry.
Yeah.
Because filmmaking is about collaboration.
Right.
Sometimes I envy the writers and the painters because you can do your own stuff. You don't need big money, you know, or like time limitation, or you can write about anything, you can paint about anything. But for film, it always comes with time, space, and money. So we have to play around with it. So you need to have a very good collaborators who understand your vision. Otherwise, it will be very tough to make a film.
Right. So who directly? I mean, I know everybody comes underneath you. Yeah. But who directly do you actually need to how do you say amplify what they've put down on paper, and you need to look for ways to actually put this down, right? So what do you have to do as a filmmaker?
I think as a filmmaker, one thing that I learned is a filmmaker need to be very precise. And he need to know exactly what he wanted to do or she wanted to do, so that when you communicate with your collaborators or teammate, we have to be sure about the baseline, about the exact, I would say, the guiding parameters. At least we need to have a guiding parameters from where to where or how we are going. From there, the collaborators will add on their own taste, perspective or their skills, and they will amplify. But it has to be one coherent thing that you have to communicate with everyone. Otherwise, the film won't have harmony. Probably the cinematographer will be doing his style, the editor will be editing in his style, the actor will be doing on their style. So there won't be any harmony. So it's very important they understand the harmony and then to explain to the collaborator, so that no matter, even though they say there's around 24 disciplines in film alone. So for me, a good film is whereby all the 24 elements are in harmony. Yeah.
Right. So that's why you can understand if a movie becomes disastrous, yeah?
Yes.
And it's always nice to watch a movie where the plot is not what you think it is. And there's a big twist to it, and you know what you expect. Like, what was that movie, The Sixth Sense, before, when you thought the guy was the dead one, but he was actually dead and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
Right? But so, okay. Tell us a bit about the spiritual sequels, Macai and Blues. How did that idea come about?
The idea came up, I mean, we didn't plan exactly for a spiritual sequel or multiverse. So it was a standalone crime drama, and it was a standalone, Blues is people call it as a satirical romantic drama. So romantic drama, with a bit of satire, with the backdrop of Malaysian film industry, particularly Tamil film industry.
Okay.
It's totally different genre, different style. Macai is about a road movie, we can call it as a road movie, a thriller, a stoner comedy also. So totally different. But after I almost finished the movies, and then my friend said to me that indeed all these films are connected, and that's how I said okay, yeah, there's a connection, and then we call it as a Jagat multiverse. But the idea came out very randomly, because Blues is something that I always wanted to tell the story. But as for Macai, suddenly I remembered a particular incident that happened when I was a kid. I heard about this story. Then I just took the plot line and then I tried to make it as a genre bending film in my own term.
Even your title, Macai and Blues, is not very, you don't go out there and find somebody making a movie. Macai and Blues, what's this, man?
Yeah.
Right? So, nice over there. And what about you, Faye? When you read the script, when he told you, like, hey, check this out, are you interested?
Yeah. I've been, I don't think I hesitated to say yes. I think when I said yes, I wasn't quite sure. I wasn't quite sure what I was playing at that time when I was offered to be part of the Macai cast family. But I just said yes, and then I knew it's gonna be I knew it's gonna be a great journey lah, and it turns out to be greater than I expected lah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, good, man. Good,
Yeah.
good. Had you seen his work previously and then known, like, if I'm working for Sun-J, man, it's like, it's going to happen?
Yeah.
Or was it because of that script that had power in it?
I've known Sun-J before we even start to speak. I known him from his work.
Right.
And then I was like, I would like to work with him and for him sometimes. And then it came, and then I just jumped the bandwagon lah.
Fantastic. Okay, who else is in the movie? What other characters do we have in the movie?
In Macai, you mean?
Yeah.
We have Siam.
Karnan playing Siam.
Okay.
I'm playing Siam.
Even the way you say Macai is so different, huh?
Yeah.
Macai.
Yeah.
Zam, try it, Zam. Macai.
I feel like Macai, right? It really represents us in Malaysia.
Okay.
Because when I watch Macai, right, I feel like, sorry, I have to segue a bit.
No problem.
I want to talk about Macai. It's like we from different places even in KL, when we see the word Macai, right, everyone has got their own interpretation.
Yeah.
We kind of more or less share some link, but everyone has got different tone to it. So I felt that's the magic about Macai.
Right. A Macai would be like, you're the person who does everything that you want him to do or something, isn't it? Is that what a Macai is?
It can be read that way, or it can be read as us under a system where we have no control over. And then we are just trying our best to make sense of the crazy world around us. When everything's about money, it's about power, it's about all that. Like how do all these characters make sense? You know? And I feel in some way or the other, it kind of reflects us in our real life. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And what do you like about your role of your character?
Oh, I like him because I've seen a lot of, not to say to the extent, but I've seen shadow of these characters in my upbringing experience. And in some sense, I could also relate to their psyche in a very strange way. And then I never understood why they did what they did until when I delved into Macai, and I kind of like, at the end of the day, those persons that we don't agree with, we kind of share the same want and desire, but just everyone express differently in a sense. Yeah.
Right. And how did you get all these your script writers and all that, right? How many script writers do you use for a movie?
I wrote myself.
You wrote it yourself.
Yeah.
So when you do this and all that, how did you know about all these characters and stuff? Your experience.
Yeah, I've seen these characters in my life. I've grown up with.
You've got a very colorful upbringing.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah, from your time, and that really is important. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I see the human part of these people.
Correct.
When we portray the so-called criminals in the cinema, right? There's always like one-sided.
Yeah, correct. You understand some things about them, or you see some things about them that others don't.
Yeah, but actually, I've seen a lot of these people. They are funny people. They're really funny to hang out with. So, but if we don't really see that funny, very carefree part, film always show them as a ruthless, no heart at all.
Yeah.
So I wanted to add the human part. Even in all my characters, they are the good and bad, so-called. So they cross over here and there.
Correct.
So,
I have met such a character before, a person who just come out of jail, And friends told me this guy was a big gangster or something like that. And when I was watching him, he went into the shop. He came out of the shop and he bought some dull seeds or something like that. He bought, and there he was standing, and this pigeon actually came to him, sat on his hand. And he was feeding this pigeon the dull seeds. And it was like a daily thing he would do. Every day he would go out and feed this pigeon. So this pigeon knew him. So he walked out, and this bird came, landed on his hand, and ate. And then when I went closer and I looked, and he told me, he said, this pigeon doesn't have a beak. So he was feeding that pigeon. But this is the same guy that went to the jail for doing something.
Yeah.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So I think it's kind of like what you're saying. There's two sides of the coin to everything. And it's interesting when we actually pay attention, yeah? Okay. Wait, hold on. What's one thing people don't realize about producing a local Tamil film in Malaysia?
Sorry.
What's one thing people don't realize about producing a local Tamil film in Malaysia?
I would say like here, like people been producing Tamil films for 30 over years. But I would say like probably 99% people are imitating the stuffs from the South Indian cinema. So these are the things that we are trying to break,
Right.
to run away from that mold, to imitate, but we don't want to imitate, but then we want to create a narrative that belongs to Malaysia alone.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you hope that the new generation of filmmakers learn from Jagat's journey?
Interesting, because like few people been asking me how I managed to do this, and then I told them that just don't believe the myth, because there's always a wall in front of us and myth saying that things can't be done this way and that way. Until we do it ourselves, then only we know the actual thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It'd be so nice to go watch your movies, I tell you, really. And from watching that, also, I want to see Fabian because of some of the things he said here today. And you talked about how these movies actually captured things that you didn't realize when you were growing up.
Yeah.
And now, so when we watch that, we'll be thinking, that's what Fabian mentioned, or this is what he means, and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think movies are such a nice, great way of actually doing a lot of things for a lot of people, yeah? What do you hope the new generation of filmmakers learn from Jagat's journey? Yeah. So, for those who love Jagat, what makes Macai in November and Blues in December a must watch? Wow, you rhyming, yeah? Macai in November, Blues in December, a must watch for Malaysians.
Yeah, I would say Macai would be probably a never seen experience before in Malaysia. I personally call it as a trippy journey. So yeah, for the trippy part, people should watch the experience in a bigger cinema,
right?
Bigger screen. And as for Blues, again we are telling a story about totally a subculture, about a minority people, but then it's a very universal feeling. The feeling about hope, love, family, ambition,
right?
But being told from the POV from an artist from a minority race in Malaysia.
Right, it's so important to actually be able to relate. People need to be able to relate to the. Otherwise, people don't want to watch, right? If it's something.
I think the most important thing is like cinema should have empathy, because we are lack of empathy here. That is why we are judging others. But cinema is so powerful. Not to judge or not to give a moral thing. I don't believe in sending the message in film. But it's just to share some common feelings, especially empathy.
Right.
Because we don't understand each other. When we understand each other, we develop the empathy.
Right.
So it's important for us to understand each other so that we develop the empathy.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to make everybody a lot understanding, a lot more understanding between everybody. Yeah? What are your thoughts, Fabian?
What are my thoughts on
the movies coming out and all that soon, and what you have to say to the listeners right now about why they should go watch?
Yeah, I feel like put down the expectation of what you thought a movie could be, especially local audience, because we are so used to seeing structured things, and what Sun-J mentioned about trippy, for me it's kind of an inward journey. It's kind of like an inward meditation, and it might taste like trippy, or it might feel trippy, but I felt like that's how you feel when you take the journey inwards, and you kind of reflect upon yourself and all that. And don't be frustrated if you don't get the answer. Just sit there and feel it, and then whatever you get, that's the thing lah. Whatever you can feel, that's what you bring home with you. You
Right.
know? And then carry that feeling forward, and then just share to more friends and more people to come into cinema to join us in Macai.
Correct. And don't wait 10 years to watch it over again. Like some people, after 10 years, they watched it again, then they caught some things, right? So if you don't catch it the first time, watch it straight away. Again. Go tomorrow again in the cinema like, hey, it's Malami Maria. Come back and watch the movie again. You never know, yeah?
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's out in cinemas. Is there anything on YouTube or anything now for people to catch a little bit?
Yeah, they can check out the trailers.
Okay.
On YouTube, Macai trailer, Blues trailer.
All right.
It's there.
Macai and Blues. Just type that, yeah?
Yep.
And they'll get it, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. And what about you, Fabian?
Yeah.
What? Anything you want to add on? Nothing else?
Yeah, we continue to thrive.
Yeah.
Continue to
Fantastic.
thrive. Continue to tell story that's a bit not there's a bit not business directed, but a truth worth telling.
Did you get any fighting scenes or anything in the movie or what?
In the fighting scene,
God.
you should go watch
Come
it.
on! Come on!
I would say it's more fun than a fighting scene.
Really, yeah?
Yeah, it's more fun than fighting.
You have all the skeleton scenes.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's more fun than that.
So
yeah.
he's really Jagat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
More fun than
Jagat, yeah, Fabian. Okay, Anisha, how are you doing? You're doing all right. Yeah, you didn't think you're going to escape here without us asking you anything, yeah? What have you thought of the movie so far?
It's good.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Really? Should people watch it?
Definitely.
I like that. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much,
you,
Mr.
thank
Sun-J Perumal. It's been an absolute pleasure and an honor having you
Thanks
with
for
the
having
studios of Trax. Thank you. Fabian, we look forward to seeing a lot more of your work together.
you.
And we wish you both the success, and we wish you all plenty of movies to come.
Thank you.
And come back again and talk to us about the next movie when it happens, yeah?
All right.
Thank you so much from all of us at Trax, from Zam, from our bosses, from our listeners, and we wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.